Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Today's biggest story isn't just a rumor or some off-season speculation. No, it's a game-changing move that's got everyone in the NFL talking, especially those of us who follow the Commanders closely. Rumors are swirling that the New Orleans Saints are preparing to send their Pro Bowl wide receiver, Chris Olave, to the Washington Commanders, and the exchange is reportedly a third-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's right, Olave, a young, explosive talent, could soon be donning the burgundy and gold. And let me tell you, this isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about reshaping the entire offensive dynamic of the Commanders for the coming seasons. Chris Olave, for those of you who haven't been paying close attention, is one of the most exciting young wideouts in the league. He made the Pro Bowl in 2023, and for good reason. Olave is lightning quick, a true deep threat, and a precise route runner. His PFF grade last season was an impressive 88.2, which really highlights his effectiveness on the field. Over his brief NFL career, he's accumulated more than 500 receiving yards and has scored 18 touchdowns. His stats are nothing short of remarkable for a player still in his early 20s. In 2024, he tallied over 172 yards with 4 touchdowns, and he averaged 4.8 yards after catch per reception, showcasing his ability to turn short plays into substantial gains. His EPA per target was plus 0.38, reflecting his efficiency in producing positive plays, and even with some injury setbacks, such as a concussion that caused him to miss a game, Olave remained a consistent force on the field. Now, let's consider the context. The Saints, sitting at a 1-3 record, have been struggling offensively, averaging just 20 points per game. Their attack has been somewhat stagnant, and they're trying to shed salary cap space, about $5.2 million, while also rebuilding their roster. They seem to be prioritizing offensive line depth, which is crucial considering they're allowing around 4.8 sacks per game. Trading Olave, who commands a cap hit of around $6 million, makes sense for them if they believe they can bolster their OL and focus on a rebuild, especially with Derek Carr at quarterback, who's been performing at a 58% completion rate, but hasn't fully clicked with the offensive weapons. For the Commanders, this potential trade is more than just acquiring a talented receiver. It's about elevating the entire aerial attack, which has been somewhat inconsistent this season. Adding Olave to the mix with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson would create one of the most dynamic trios in the NFC East. It's a move that could unlock new levels of offensive productivity. Think about it. Olave's deep threat capability, combined with McLaurin's route running and Dotson's speed, could make the Commanders' passing game nearly unstoppable. Not to mention, Olave's ability to stretch the field with success on 42% of his receptions over 20 yards would open up so many opportunities underneath and in intermediate routes, forcing defenses to stretch themselves thin. But what does all of this mean in terms of the impact? Well, first off, it would significantly boost the Commanders' EPA per play, especially in the passing game. Olave's addition could push their offensive efficiency up by around 18%, according to some projections based on his metrics and past performance. His presence could also elevate the team's yards per route run, which currently is competitive but could see a noticeable jump with such a deep threat in the lineup. Plus, his separation stats, about 15% more than the typical receiver, would give quarterback Sam Howell more reliable options and reduce pressure on him to force throws. From a strategic perspective, this trade could turn the Commanders into one of the most potent offensive teams in the NFC. Their projected yards per game could climb up to around 28 points, aligning with some of the league's better offenses. Olave's deep success rate, which is around 20%, would be a game-changer, making the Commanders' passing game more explosive and unpredictable. And let's not forget, this move could have ripple effects across the division. making the Commanders a more formidable playoff contender, especially if they continue to develop chemistry early in the season. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the odds for the Super Bowl have already shifted slightly with this kind of move. The Commanders, with Olive, could see their chances of reaching the big game increase from around +2-0 to +900, which is a significant jump. The Saints, meanwhile, are looking at a long rebuild with odds around +18-0, trying to piece together their roster while shedding cap space. The trade might be seen as a win-win for both sides. New Orleans gets the cap relief and a chance to rebuild, while Washington gets a premier young receiver who can be a cornerstone for years to come. And let's talk about the NFC East. Adding Olive would be a massive boost for the Commanders' rivalry with the Eagles and Cowboys. With a player of Olive's caliber, the Commanders could finally break through and challenge the division's top teams more effectively. Imagine Olive stretching defenses and creating mismatches, freeing up McLaurin and Dotson to operate in space. That kind of firepower could turn the tide in close games, especially in critical third-down situations, where Olive's separation skills and route running are so valuable. Of course, all of this hinges on a few factors, like the final negotiations, Olive's health, and how quickly he can gel with Howell and the rest of the offense. But the potential here is enormous. It's a move that could elevate the Commanders from a decent team to a true playoff contender, with aspirations of going deep into the postseason. And for Saints fans, it's about embracing the rebuild, focusing on their offensive line, and planning for a brighter future. So, as we sit here today, watching these developments unfold, it's clear that something big is happening. The NFL landscape is shifting, and the Commanders are right at the center of it. Olive's arrival would certainly energize the fan base and give the team a much-needed boost to their aerial attack. Whether this trade goes through or not, it's a reminder that in the NFL, change is constant, and teams are always looking for that edge, whether it's a young star like Olive or a strategic move to shake up the division. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Olive can be the missing piece that finally takes the Commanders over the top? Or do you think the Saints are better off holding on to him and focusing on their rebuild? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more insights into what's happening in the NFL and especially with your Washington Commanders. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, thank you for being part of this journey with us.